Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Estelle and I make videos on crochet, sewing, upcycling and DIYs. I'm super excited about today's video because ClawLab sent me the rag tufting gun kit and I'm going to make my very first tufted rag. I've always wanted to try rag tufting, but it just sat on my never-ending hobby list until now. If you've also been curious about tufting or if you're just looking for new project ideas, we are going to see if this kit is beginner friendly. I'll show you how I set it up, how long it takes me to make a piece, with some tips based on my mistakes. So let's jump into the 5th chapter of my monthly series, making a whimsical home one DIY at a time. First, let's open the package. Here's what comes with the kit: the tufting gun itself, some yarn, the backing fabric and the frame, which honestly makes the whole thing possible. The frame was simple to set up. You slide the bars into the holes, add the second set to leave a gap for the fabric and secure everything with the 4 screws. Then it was ready to attach the frame to the edge of my desk with the screw clamp. It also comes with a velcro pole to wrap your fabric around, which makes tightening much easier. I thought shoving the fabric between the clamps and making it tight would be more difficult, but it was really easy. According to ClawLab tutorials on YouTube, it has to be tense as a drum. Let's test. As for the design, there are so many cute things you can make with tufting that I honestly felt stuck for days, unable to decide on a design. So I went to Pinterest for inspiration and found myself drawn to these groovy designs and also to these bohemian style patterns. I put together a little mood board and then I used my iPad to rework one of the designs, making sure it was clean and doable with the tufting gun. This is the final design I came up with. It feels really cozy and autumnal. With a small projector, I traced it onto the canvas and marked the sections to keep track of the colors. Okay, now that I have my design and the setup is ready, I'm so excited to start. As you can see, I made a few tests here on the edges already. To get the gun ready, I removed the top and passed the yarn through these holes with the special needle that comes with the kit. And just like that, it works immediately. The gun has a dial to adjust speed, so I'm starting slow. I feel a little clumsy right now. I know I have to hold the gun on 90 degrees, but my hands are not used to this tool and I feel I'm not quite getting the tension and speed. At first my gun wasn't threading all the time and I got a lot of scraggy ends, but the more I practiced, the better I got. I think what helped the most was relaxing my grip and pressure on the gun, and also keep checking that the thread is not tangled or stuck before passing it through the gun. I started with the bigger sections, checking every now and then how it looked at the front so I could adjust the width of the lines. Then I made the inside details first to make sure I don't run over thin lines with the background color. And once these shapes were secured, I proceeded to fill the background. think there's something really special about trying a new tool or hobby. Our brain kind of lights up in the process. At first it feels awkward and clumsy, but with every little adjustment, every "oh, so that's how it works" moment, keeps my mind active and flexible. It reminds me that learning isn't just for kids. Picking up something new as an adult can be as joyful and nourishing. Even if the project isn't perfect, the process itself, it's a way of keeping our creativity alive and training our brain to stay curious. It took me around 3-4 hours to finish the tufting, and I'm liking it so far. Now I have to spread glue all over the bag and let it dry for the night. I trimmed off the excess fabric, leaving some fabric around the edges. The next step is shaving the rug. I used a regular razor to even everything out and define the shapes. I made this slowly to try and give it some dimension. And this is where it really started looking like a real rug. After about 1-2 hours, I was finally happy with the design. With a hot glue gun, I secured the edges inside, and the last step is to also glue the backing fabric. And here's the reveal. It feels like something you might stumble on in a Ghibli film, tucked away in a little grandma's cottage in the woods. I just love the autumnal coziness it gives off. I think it looks good for a first try, although I wish I had chosen more contrasting colors between the orange and the brown. I could feel myself improving as I went along. At the start I was impatient and moving fast, but after half an hour I got the hang of it. The setup was also easy, which is great for me because complicated setups usually keep me from starting projects. And I'm excited to start another one. I will leave a link to the tufting kit below, along with my discount code if you want to check it out. Thank you so much to ClawLab for sponsoring this video. If you have any questions about the tufting or my experience, leave them in the comments, I'll be happy to answer. Take care and I will see you in the next video. Adeu!